Il prima derby è tutto.
The derby is everything. The build-up starts 10 days before at least. And when you're around town, people ask you to make sure you play your part and win it. San Siro transmits quite a lot to you in those days. 80,000 people calling your name. It sends shivers down your spine. It stops you in your tracks, and you think, how is this possible? There's nothing like it. You can't sleep the night before.
Evaristo Beccalossi was a hero for Inter in the 70s and 80s. And this talented, creative midfielder proved decisive in a derby in 1979, helping the Nerazzurri beat Milan for the first time in 5 years.
Back in the day, you'd go to the butcher's and he would say to you, Becca, score a goal and I'll give you a piece of ham. At the petrol station, the attendant would say, I'll fill it up for free as long as you don't score against Milan. 7 or 8 of my teammates had come through the Inter youth ranks and knew what it was like when I came from Brescia and I didn't know what it meant to play in the derby.
Beccalossi added his and Inter's second after this fine cross from Murano to send the Nerazzurri supporters wild in celebration.
E quando abbiamo vinto,
when we finally won the derby, I noticed that the guys who'd come through the ranks were celebrating in a different way compared to those of us who didn't grow up at Inter. To them, it had a different meaning.
That derby was the launchpad for Inter's 12th domestic title. It was also one of Beccalossi's finest displays. Despite his skill, his performances alternated between inspired and utterly forgettable.
At times I didn't sleep much, I turned up late, didn't eat much and drank 5 coffees.
Quando ero perfetto dicevo si è allenato bene, peso.
At other times I trained properly and I was in good shape, but often I would end up playing badly. If I'd been a bit more carefree during the week, something inside me would click and I would think, I wasn't as well behaved as I should have been. I must do well. That's when I'd end up playing a blinder.
Beccalossi picked the ball up out wide. A fine piece of skill to beat Manfredonia. And a gorgeous drop of the shoulder for lashing the ball past Cacciatori. A stunning goal from a wonderful player.
Ho vissuto un caso dove veramente...
When I played, you could still make up for your physical shortcomings with skill and imagination.
E con la fantasia. Adesso ci sono 24.
Our players are businesses that you've got to bring together to reach a sporting objective. In our time, there was nothing, just a group of people that would come together and you got on with one another. I had this rapport, this respect for players who were all working incredibly hard behind me to allow me to be creative. Because I was never one for tracking back. My job started from the halfway line onwards. I'm pretty sure I never went back into my own half for something like a year and a half. My teammates would shout to me, "Shall we call you a taxi?"
Bayern Munich tried to pry Beccalossi away from Inter, but the answer was, he's like Milan's cathedral. It's not for sale at any price. So he's the ideal man to preview this derby. Milan haven't won in the league in 4 years, and they're 19 points behind in the table. It seems to be a foregone conclusion.
If you look at the table and the squads, Inter are superior to Milan, but it's such a one-off game that there are no favourites. Last year, Milan were coming off the back of a good run of results and in good spirits. And Inter, under Spalletti, played a very defensive game.
A derby for the ages.
Then they went on to win, and it spurred them to get into the Champions League, while Milan spiralled into a decline. Football's like that.
Calcio è questo.